At last, here it is, the parchment with Yinaghu's true name.
Careful with that. We don't want to lose our only bid to gain full control over a demon lord.
Who will read it? Seems like a lot of power for one person to have. Zep should go first. This was his idea after all.
We did all the work killing this Mollydeus. I hardly think it's a fair approach.
Gray's right. Zep has the right to read it first, but he should read the name aloud. That way we all know at once.
I guess I can live with that. Go ahead, Sepp. Thank you.
As Sepp slowly unfurls the parchment, a look of confusion passes over his face before an abrupt look of horror. Sepp begins to shriek, louder and louder, until the pitch of the shriek is too high to hear. Suddenly, Sepp shatters. His body disappears in a bloody mist, but something is left in the space that Sepp occupied. A wispy, cloud-like creature with a tortured look on its face. It tries to speak, but no sound emerges from its decayed lips.
I'm dead! Kill it! Wait, I think it's Zep. What happened to you?
Sepp, tell us the name! The creature stares at Gray and company, trying to speak. Instead, a horrifying babbling noise emerges from the creature's mouth and assails everyone's minds, causing them to collapse on the ground. The creature slowly drifts by their bodies, babbling incoherently before it drifts through a wall and fades from view.
Gods, I hate imprisonment spells. Did we get him, guys? Is Yinaghu our bitch now? Oh, Hey, look! Parchment!
Don't.
You're alive! And what do you mean, don't? Isn't this what we spent the last decade chasing? Where's Sepp?
Cursed.
Ah! We need to get moving. Yinaghu has no doubt seen the death of its Mollydeus and is headed for us. Can you walk?
I think.
Better than a no. See if you can grab Lyra. I'll get Gray. That's Sepp, isn't it?
Run.
Welcome back to a Compendium of Monsters. This week's entry, the Alep. Before we continue, please make sure you've subscribed to my channel. It helps me out a lot. Aleps are challenge level 5, medium-sized undead. They have an armor class of 13, average hit points of 40, a speed of 0 feet, a hovering speed of 40 feet, and dark vision out to 60 feet. Aleps can communicate via the languages it knew in its previous life, but it's a bit more complicated than that. We'll talk about it in a minute. Aleps have resistance to acid damage, fire damage, lightning damage, thunder damage, and damage from non-magical attacks. Aleps are immune to cold damage, necrotic damage, and poison damage. Aleps are also immune to a laundry list of conditions: charmed, exhausted, frightened, grappled, paralyzed, petrified, poisoned, prone, and restrained. Aleps have the incorporeal movement trait, which allows them to pass through other creatures or objects as if they were difficult terrain. If an Alep ends its turn inside an object or another creature, it takes a small amount of force damage, but is not expelled. For their actions, Aleps can use their maddening touch to inflict psychic damage in melee range. However, Aleps are much more dangerous when they use their Whispers of Madness action. Whispers of Madness allows an Alep to choose 3 creatures it can see within 60 feet and force them to make wisdom saving throws. On a failed save, the creature takes psychic damage and must use their reaction to melee attack a nearby creature of the Alep's choice. Only constructs and undead are immune to this effect. Lastly, Aleps can take their final action to Howling Babble. Each creature within 30 feet of the Alep that can hear it is forced to make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, each target creature takes psychic damage and is stunned until the start of their next turn. Again, constructs and undead are immune to this effect. Sounds like a great time to try out a Warforged. Howling Babble has a 1 in 6 chance to recharge, so once it's used, you might not see it again for the rest of the fight. Aleps are created when an individual goes meddling into powerful magics beyond their understanding, and occurs when an individual stumbles across a cursed secret protected by a powerful being. Secrets protected like this are the things you'd expect: true names of demon lords, hidden truths of the multiverse, the location of Asarak's f***ing phylactery, etc. The creature acquires the secret, but their body is immediately obliterated. What's left behind is a spectral creature composed of the victim's shattered mind, which is in constant agony. That said, each Alep is under incredible duress by the secret it is forced to keep, so it attempts to alleviate its burden by sharing fragments of the secret when it makes contact with other creatures. While an Alep can speak the languages it knew in life, this is a dire misrepresentation of how an Alep communicates. Otherwise, an Alep would simply spread the secret it knows to any nearby creature, creating a huge number of Aleps. Unfortunately for the Alep, it is forced to communicate tiny pieces of its horrible secret by attacking, whispering, and howling at other creatures. If an individual survives an Alep's attempt to convey its secret, it is racked by temporary madness and also a desire to learn more about the secret, as if a colossal truth sits slightly beyond their reach. This experience will remain with the creature for years after the fateful encounter, though failing to pursue the temptation of the knowledge allows the fragmented secret to slowly fade from that creature's mind. Killing an Alep does not permanently destroy the creature, as the curse of its knowledge causes it to reform similarly to a lich. However, the Alep has no control over where it might reform. Not that that particularly matters to an Alep. There is an escape from an Alep's cursed existence. The Alep must influence another creature, preferably a literate one with opposable thumbs, to write out the secret the Alep knows. This takes place over the course of several weeks and inevitably leads to the mental decline of the unknowing slave doing the Alep's work. After the secret is fully transcribed, the Alep can pass peacefully into oblivion. But the secret is left behind in the writer's work to be discovered by another unfortunate soul. Aleps are difficult creatures for low-level parties to fight, but I've added a slight tweak to their stat block to threaten parties of all levels. The reason for this tweak is that I don't see any part of the Alep stat block that shows a player character experiencing trauma after encountering a being literally designed to inflict in-game trauma. Anyways, Aleps under this variation gain the Impart Secret legendary action, which allows the Alep to target one creature the Alep can see within 60 feet with a DC 21 Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the target creature is stunned for 1 minute and mentally receives a myriad of confusing images. These images greatly impede the creature's ability to recover from the shock of the fragmented secret, causing them to remain stunned for the full minute. After the minute ends, the creature is granted a partial reprieve from their torment, but the fragment tears at their mind, causing long-term madness that lasts 1d10 times 10 months. This madness is, more or less, an obsession to figure out the rest of the fragmented secret, so maybe don't do this to a player who dislikes lengthy roleplay opportunities. However, in an effort to balance this legendary action, the Alep can only affect one creature at a time with Impart Secret, and the long-term madness can be cured by Greater Restoration or similar magic. Anyways, what do you all think of Aleps? Let me know in the comments below. As always, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that subscribe button, smash that like button, share this video on your social media platforms like Twitter or Facebook, and consider becoming one of my patrons on Patreon. A special thank you to my existing patrons, and I'll see you all next time.